Audio? Yeah, right. Audio. Cameras rolling. We're going to need that one. We might need that one. That's about it. I think that's all we'll need for the day. Fairly certain. All right. Let's keep going. We got some not so great stuff. No high level repair stuff. We're only merely doing part swapping today. And this is a job to help a previous customer out. So let's get it up here. This is the Part Swap 6000 series. Oh, I guess let's go over what we got. And it's kind of to the point where you don't. This is the jobs that you don't want to do, but this is something that somebody wants to do. Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing? Let me get a chat window up so I can see you there. This early, yeah. Well, sometimes. Let's open this app up. See if is it gonna let me? Is it gonna work? Or is it not gonna work? Oh, it's gonna make me log in. Of course it is. All right. Logging in so I have a chat window. Let's see. Bridges. Oh my goodness. Prove that what? I'm a person? Let's try that one. Fire hydrant. Okay. I love these captchas that they have you do. You know, I'm not seeing any more fire hydrants. Okay. I love when I can't get logged into something. It makes it. Alright, let's go check what the password is. Oh, okay, so it's that one with that. Got it. Good to know. Yeah, no, I'm usually not live this early, I agree, but we're gonna crosswalks. They want me to click on the crosswalks. That's great. Crosswalk, verify. Bicycles. Not seeing any more bicycles, so we're gonna. All right, can't get the chat. We'll just move this window to another monitor so I can see it from where I'm sitting. There we go. Oh, those find the image puzzles. Yeah, they're such a nuisance, man. All right, so here's what we have. And as I said, let's start this out. This is a previous customer, actually, of this shop here and also the pizza shop that I work at, I used to deliver to this person, and we've stopped delivering at the pizza shop, so I don't drive deliveries anymore there. I work in shop, but um, she was a delivery customer as well as a customer for this shop. And normally you don't fix a bunch of old stuff like this. However, she wanted to weigh the cost of buying 6 new tablets versus fixing 6 old ones, and what would be cheaper going with good parts. So she really wanted to keep what she had and fix these, even though I recommended against it. I said you could probably find something on sale, but long story short, that was that. This is this, and this is what we're doing. So we have 6 of these to go through, and I don't think this digitizer is here for this ancient tablet. It's on its way on the slow boat from China. So, yeah. Some are Samsung. Some are On. That's a brand at Walmart. I don't know if you have a Walmart close to you. We have a RCA, a little Samsung, an On, and then we have a big Samsung, 10-inch Samsung, and then we have this Smart Life Within Reach. There's a name for this, but I can't think of it. But the model is an MB1001. So yeah, there. That's what that is. Can't promise we're going to get through 5 of these today. As I said, I don't think the digitizer is in this pile of parts, but if it is, we'll try and get to it. We're going to see what we can get to in the next hour, give or take. So let's start cracking stuff apart. This is an On tablet, fairly common, and there's no real model number, but I mean, I guess the model number would be 10,001, so 1, 3 zeros, 1, 886, I believe it is, 886. So let's start trying to get this thing apart. This one, if I remember correctly, has a damaged digitizer, and then there's like a blurry spot on the screen. And how's the power button? All right, we need some juice. Excuse me. There it is. So yeah, against best advice, wants to fix all of these, so we're gonna do it. Make sure our power's plugged in. And it is. All right, so this thing just really did. But it does take power. 4.9 volts, 0.53 amps, roughly. Yeah. Let's see if we can get it to turn over. Very doubtful. It's probably dead flat, charging at that rate. All right. Let's pop it open. We'll throw it on the charger. Actually, let's start with something different while this charges. I want to see, because I don't remember if this one actually started up. Let's grab boy, do I really want to do a little Samsung tablet. Yeah, they've been unused for a little while. Definitely, that tends to happen when you get something broken. Well, I think they used them with them broken until it's just too frustrating or cut fingers or whatnot. I did charge these uh, like a week ago. I've been here a few weeks while I waited on everything to show up. Okay, so we have charging. We can let this one charge, and we also have 0% on this, so we know it lights up. But I want to see the smudge on this screen. And there is. It's very hard to see. Let's see if we kick the light off. We should be able to see it, hopefully. So there's that smudge right above the battery right there. It's hard to see, but it should be a little bit lighter of a mark. Right there. That's not on the digitizer. That's actually on the LCD screen. So let that charge for a few. RCA. Not really in it. You know what? Let's pop this guy open. Make sure it's going to charge for us as well. At least most of them are USB-C capable for charging. So does that mean they're new? No. But all right, so we do have juice. Who knows what amount? 100%. So we don't need to charge that. That's good. All right, while these charge up, let's hop on over to this one. And this is that modern. I think it's a Modern Living or something like that. Smart Life Within Reach. An MB, modern build. I don't know. Made in China. MB1001 is your model number. That's what it looks like. And this isn't the one. That's the other one I'm thinking of. But yeah, let's go. All right, no SD card. That's good. Are you talking about the micro USB? Micro USB is definitely ancient. It's an ancient standard. Yeah, micro USB. I don't even know why they still release stuff with that type of charging these days. And as with most tablets, we can see that yeah, there's not a great deal to it. I wonder what the best method is going to be for this one. Let's verify we have the digitizer in our pile of parts as well. So we know we have the on screen. We can set that off to the side while it charges. Right, we need to find this digitizer. And I think, going by the looks of it, that's why I stand up most of the time. You try to sit and then you got to start jumping around, jumping through hoops. That's a bad place to cut. Slip off there and cut the battery. Looking at it, that has that black shine to it. That appears to be it. All right. And we also have some adhesive. So, what way to tear this down? Strip everything out and just try and remove. I think if we do that, it's going to be tougher on us, honestly. But I think we kind of have to. We got to get in here to disconnect our ribbon cable for the digitizer. So let's go with it. Like, go at it like that. Let's jump in and yeah, start lifting this crap. See if we can find a set of tweezers that isn't absolutely destroyed. Hey, what's going on, Moose? What are you doing? What are you doing over there? Are you still? Did you move? I know last we talked, I think you were moving. Or planning to. I can't remember if it was moving, planning to. And it's going to be an absolutely awful experience tearing all this out. That looks like the one we need, though, right there. Battery. Is the battery gonna be soldered in this? Let's take a pull right now. Battery soldered on, or is it on a connector? I'm gonna say soldered direct to the main board, and that's having never torn one of these apart. And indeed it is. 3 wires, positive, negative, and our thermal sensor wire, or whatever you want to call it, signal tack. I don't know if it'd have a tack. It's not a fan. Yes and no. Yes and no. Like to a certain point, yes. And it was actually, this one was the hardest one to find parts for because of the age of it. You're talking micro USB, exposed SD card slot, RCA. RCA was a popular tablet at Walmart's for a while. They had those. So we have our ribbon cable that goes to our digitizer. Now we just need to separate it from the front some way, somehow. Let's grab a plastic card and see if we can IPA this thing right off of there. So we need to find a plastic card to attempt this. I've got a couple. They're a little bent up, but they should prove to be an asset in this job if we can get one of them flat. Let's heat it up quick and flatten out a couple of the corners on this. Just hitting it with hot air should kind of straighten it. These plastic disassembly cards, if you ever get them all dinged up, it may want to curl a little bit, but if you hit it with just a light bit of hot air, you can get it to kind of uncrinkle. Too much hot air and it tends to start melting, so keep that in mind. There, we have 4 good corners now. Let's touch up our other one here. We'll go at a slightly lower temp. Actually, let's see if we can flatten this thing out while we're here. Why not? See if it'll go back to flat, kind of. And there we are. Operational. All right. IPA. Is this the tool to unsolder melt? This one? Cheapo? If it focuses. Cheapo? Yeah, this is the one for hot air. Use that when you're doing like SMD components and stuff like that. That's what you're gonna use, is something like that, and much more. You know, any SMD component, resistors, capacitors, little BGA chips, not big ones. Some people try, but generally don't want to do like a APU on a switch if you can help it. Or like I don't even think you could take the processor / APU off of like an Xbox or a PlayStation with one of those. You need like a BGA rework, actual rework station, like a table that heats it from both sides. And I think if we crack this a little, it's not going to hurt us very much. But let's try and get our card inserted in here. I'm going to pry up slightly with our metal tool. See if we can't get our plastic inserted in there. It's in. Not very good, but it is in. Now we're going to drip a little IPA on our card and start trying to work it around the edge. This may not work. That didn't work. Trying to see what I'm looking at. Well, I don't want to do it, but let's try it. So it doesn't really feel like we have the card in there enough. We're going to start trying to see if we're cutting between the glass and digitizer layer or if we're actually into the adhesive. with where it's at, it kind of feels like we're trying to go between the digitizer. That feels more like adhesive. You can feel it starting to cut. So we'll put a little more, a couple drops of IPA on here and just keep dragging. And you can see that we've definitely got in there. So we are currently cutting the adhesive on the screen, I believe. Going by, we can see, if we insert the card, we can kind of see it. Let's go back up that edge a moment. What we don't want is this to stick. You got a new job. That's awesome, man. What are you doing for work? I just saw that comment up there, Coco. What's your new job, man? Tell me about it. You're doomed after the warranty's over. You're doomed for Chinese products. Why? You're so close to China. It just seems like it would be a no-brainer and super easy to get parts. So we may have to run down that one more time. Let's go ahead and pull our card back up. We're going to start propping this. Just try to keep everything unstuck. Courses for degree students, man. Like you're doing like digital content for people to learn from? Am I reading that right? That's pretty awesome, man. Doing something like that. How do you get into that? Was there schooling involved? Like, there had to have been, right? Had to be. Or did you luck into that position? You just walking along, going to get a fizzy soda one day, tripped, fell through a door, and ended up with a job creating content for people to learn from, right? Completely by accident or schooling? Heavy taxes on Chinese imports. It's really imported that close. I guess it would be because it's a different country, right? Yeah, that makes sense. But that's silly because it's like on the same continent. That's super silly. It's going to take and just toss another pick in here just to help hold that out. So right now what we're hitting is our ribbon cable, so we got to kind of try to slide it around that somehow. So I think even if we cut it, it's no big deal because we're replacing the digitizer. Look at this. My dumbass put tape and it wrapped up right up around. And I think there we go. Should have very minimal cleanup to do on this one. Let's verify that our new one. Oh yeah, that's the part. Ribbon cable's in the right spot. It's already got adhesive pre-applied. Camera's in the same spot. We're definitely good to go. Let's take a look at this and see what type of cleanup is going to be involved. Not a whole lot. Honestly, I don't know that I would do any on this, but I'm going to just because of where stuff went in on the edge. I don't want stuff on their screen. I think we'll try and remove that crap there. Possibly, and maybe some along the top. Let's see. Let's get a swab and some IPA, see if we can't clean that up. Or at least something plastic to scrape with our IPA. Man, that is fuzzy. There we go. I don't like locking the focus, but I think I'm going to in this instance. There. Via school. Still super cool, man, that you're creating stuff for people to learn from. That is quite the thing, man. I don't think there's a real quality adhesive on this, so it should clean up fairly easy. Yeah, it's coming off there. In China, we have a lot of border issues, trade issues, so it's always something going on. Now even Apple is moving from China to India slowly. And yes, very great, it's out. A pretty cool tool. I don't think it would work in this case, but we can actually try it. I'm curious to try it to see if it will remove this type of adhesive. So I guess let me grab this tool because I know it removes Loca glue, but I think it might actually clean up the adhesive around the edges as well. Let me get this one spot here. And we'll see if we can't use a tool to clean this up. All right, hot air you can turn off. Thank you. You've served your purpose, cheapo. So watch the tool be dead. That's the only downfall that I can see to this. So this is for removing glue. Like when you're doing glass off on like a digitizer and an LCD for like screens that are sealed together. And I don't know, do we want that one? Or I think we'll go with this one. This has less flex. Let's do that. So we just have a little set screw that we got to take, and we're going to back it out, make sure this goes in, and tighten it down. And see. Now this might, I know it works great on screens. I'm not so sure about plastic frames, but we're going to give it a shot. And it works great on iPad screens as well, too. Or not screens, iPad, well, screens, yes, but the frame on iPads. So let's see if we can strip some of this adhesive off of here, and what it does is spins. And it's supposed to pick up the adhesive. I don't know, we might be further. Yeah, it is kind of stripping it off of there. What it does is winds it up. This spins and it winds your adhesive around here, and you have to occasionally pick it off. Yeah, it's still in focus. Let's actually zoom in and see this pull some glue up, even though there's not a lot. Let's just try and check it out. And it literally, I know it's hard to see, but it literally winds your adhesive up right around it. Let's find here. We'll go to this spot. This is like exceptionally adhesive layered. There we go. And it's actually not marring up the plastic as far as I can tell, so good on it. I still think we would have been further ahead with the Q-tip, but, you know, new tool, got to try it out, right? Yeah, definitely where there's more adhesive. Well, here, let's try it on this old digitizer. See if we can pick up this crap. Oh, yeah, that. And that just stripped a bunch off there and balled it up, so definitely worth the small cost of this tool. But we're not here to clean off broken digitizers. We got to fix the tablet. And I suppose with more control, you know, you be able to do it faster. And then one thing, as soon as it gets a layer of adhesive, glue, whatever on it, it literally got to get it cleaned off because it stops grabbing. Yeah, still say further ahead if we did it some other way. Anyhow, new tool, had to try it. Works great if that's how it's supposed to work. All right, back to the IPA. Just give a nice quick clean on this whole thing. Sometimes just the tried and true, tried and tested is just the way to go. As long as we can get a good seal around there, we should be all right. Well, definitely not that. It's a new screen, so we don't dare mess with that one. All right. Possibly down this edge just a little. We're going to have to make sure the screen's clean. Another reason for wearing gloves, you can often blow most of the stuff off here with compressed airline. But if you start getting fingerprint oils on a screen, it's going to be a nightmare to clean. And they make chemicals that clean the screens real nice. Other than IPA, they will clean them super clean, one go. But it's stuff you really don't want to be touching. Like hexane, I think you can use that to clean screens if I'm not mistaken. And that's something you're going to want to wear gloves with. So far, so good. Like, just the old-fashioned cotton swab and IPA seems to be picking this up. Not in record time, but you're not sitting there for hours and hours doing this like you would like an old iPad mini, whatever, 2, 3, 4. It's very hard to see some of this. I'm actually, honestly, with as easy as this is coming up, I'm surprised that the screen stayed in this tablet. Like that, or that the digitizer stayed in there as well as it did. Because if the stuff cleans up this, cleans up this easy, what does that tell you about the quality of the adhesive? It's very questionable. All right, we're going to try and clean off our screen to the best of our abilities. See what's left to clean off. So we do have something stuck. Glove grabbed it. We have a little smudge there, smudges on the edge, so we're going to have to attempt to clean this thing. Oh, let's grab some microfiber. Don't like doing this, but the reason being is that it can streak. Let's tilt that, let the light catch it, and see if it's any more acceptable to go ahead and stick a new digitizer on there. Give it one more wipe. Not bad. What do you say, Moose? Yeah, it's an LCD panel. In this one, it's not AMOLED or OLED, AMOLED. None of that crazy business. I say we're popping a digitizer on this guy if we can. So let's find the open here button on this, and damn, this thing is like multi-layered. Okay, we're going to try and leave the screen protector on there. And we can see that there is indeed a screen protector, and what I hope there isn't is a layer on the inside. But looking at this, it looks like there is. Let's move this out of the way so we're not throwing stuff on it as we peel this one. Okay, so that's not. Try and peel it from this end because it's actually lifting the adhesive, not the backer. It was taking everything. And right there is why. It's because there's a paper backer on the back side of it. Alright, so it lifted our adhesive slightly. Let's see. We can unstick that corner. Good to go. Now, is there something on the inside or is that only outside? Let's see if this stuff leaves as we... Yeah, no. There's no way. That's going to have to be cleaned. Let's see what happens. Let's peel this. Yeah, look at that. We have to clean the inside where that stuff wasn't sticking down. All right, back to the IPA. See if we can clean the inside of a digitizer halfway decently without ruining the adhesive that's there. We actually might benefit from trying to stick these back on. I doubt it's going to work, but let's see what we can do, if anything. At least try to mitigate absolutely demolishing all this new adhesive that's already pre-stuck for us. And where go? Did I throw it on the floor? No, it's right here. What a shame. That plastic packaging like that is garbage. Like that wrap. Never does what it needs to. Alright, let's see if cleaning it, we'll pick it up, see if cleaning it gets rid of some of the marks. Tell me it's on the other side, or that there is plastic in here, or it's just a bad... So let me see if I can show you this. I don't think they got it dirty. I think it's a bad seal. Because as I peel this, I'm trying to really show it. Maybe something with, see those streaks that run across it? Right there. It's hard with all the light catching it, but you can see the streaks that are running vertical. Those aren't on the front. They're not on the front. They're not on the inside, which means that's in the layer in between. That's unacceptable, man. This might have to go back. I wonder if they put the adhesive on, because I don't see a peel layer anywhere. You know, that's literally air bubbles in the process, whatever they use to seal the digitizer to the glass. Probably Loka has it in, so we're gonna have to get another one of these in and return this. That's no go for sure. And that's not being any kind of sort of picky in any way. That is not a good part. I'm sorry. See the here, I'm going to make it so the streaks are vertical again. Well, we'll try another angle. You can definitely see them. Let's show them. And it will. So there's those streaks that they're running diagonal. And if I peel this off, they should disappear, but they're not going to, because they're actually in the glass. And what will it look like? Well, minus the bubbles on this. Let's put it on here and pretend for a moment. What will it look like? Well, it would look kind of like this. Now those streaks are way more visible. That is the bonding between the outer glass and the inner digitizer layer. That's not going to go away, not ever. Will it affect it? Possibly, possibly not, but I don't care. That's not going out. That's unacceptable as a part. So that digitizer has to get sent back. Hopefully they have another one to send out that is in better shape than this one. That's not a plastic layer. That's not anything. As I said, there's no layer internal on this, or no internal peel sheet. All right, so that time was wasted trying to help somebody out and fix these things. Got to send this back. We'll throw it back in its box. And this has to go, shit, I don't know where, off to the side somewhere. Let's get the on tablet. I'm going to take and just set this on top of here and put it somewhere safe. That's a shit part, man. Yeah, it's on the sides. There was that I'm sorry, but that's a shit part. I'd say this one that's spider webbed is equally as good as that one that's garbage. All right, on tablet should have some juice. Let's find out. Yeah, 36%. It's been hitting the juice box pretty hard. All right, fucking A. I don't manufacturing defect, but yeah, it's between. Do I have? Fuck yeah, I got something I can ruin. Why don't I? I have this old one here. So on these, what was actually wrong with that is you have your digitizer layer that's here. You have your outer glass, and then your digitizer layer. You have an adhesive layer, and then the digitizer, which can be plastic and is sometimes glass itself. But it was actually between the two because they're bonded together. So that's where that defect in that part was. I thought it was just dirty from when you peel plastic off. I've had that happen, but no, not the case. All right, on to the next. Good evening, Luke. What's happening, man? This is the Part Swap 6000. No high-level repairs here today. We're literally just helping a previous customer of this shop and a previous customer that I delivered to at one time from a pizza shop. We're helping her out, fixing 6 tablets of hers against my better judgment and better advice to her. She weighed the cost of fixing 6 of these versus getting 6 new tablets. And, we're fixing six cheap tablets. Let's leave that power button there so maybe we can turn it back off in a moment. On. It's on. Yeah, they're literally all digitizers, but this one's the LCD. No, don't let me make that up. Let's verify it. Okay, so let me see if I can find a spot where this tablet isn't broke to get it to touch. Where's the button? So if we can make it, okay, right there. Light out, turn the light out. Do you see this spot? That spot right there is in the LCD, not in the digitizer. So this one needs an LCD. I asked her, I said it'd be fine without it, and she said no, she wanted the spot gone. So you know what? We're going to make that spot gone. Let's try and turn this guy off. Let's play the rotate game, see if we can. Hold on. Go back. All right, shuts down. That corner works. Good to know. Some Samsung Q1 Ultra Windows XP UMPC. What is that? One of those ultra, like the little tiny ultra mobile PCs, like the EEE PC. One of those teeny tiny laptops. And it's a Windows XP one. What the hell are you messing with one of those for? Is that for you or for a client, man? I haven't seen one of those in years. Who in 2024 is still using an XP Ultra Mobile PC? I hope not you, Luke. Seriously. Come on, man. There's better computers. Technology has advanced. Okay, so taking this off, we got to be careful. We're connected to the back. It is some sort of charging dock. So let's pop this down a little. And it looks like the easy way. Is it going to lift up without ripping anything? It does fold open, but I think what we're going to do in this instance is we'll just unscrew both of those and get them the hell out of the way. Personal collection. What do you want an XP Ultra Mobile PC for? It's not a funny story, but I have a story about Windows XP. This is years ago. I never could personally get XP to install to something like an external drive and boot from that external drive. But some of those tiny little laptops that ran XP back then were very limited. And I think they made one that had like some ridiculous size eMMC chip on board instead of a hard drive. And it was a great little laptop, but I wanted to be able to boot from an external drive. And I tried contacting a few people online that I knew a little bit more about computers than me. And I'm not a software person, operating systems. And I'm like, please, can you make XP boot from this external hard drive? And they tried their damnedest, but nope, to no avail. It did not work. All right. Let's throw this off to the side. Magnet our screws for safekeeping. And see what the hell we got to do to get this screen out of here. This is going to be a tear down. All right, let's find the digitizer as well. We know we have an LCD. And it looks to be that it is this cable for the LCD. Yes, very good. Let's find our digitizer for it because it does have a cracked digitizer as well. Can't mistake that one. It's the one with the speaker grills. Oh my god, this is packaged in the same way. It has to be from the same seller, and it better not have a defect in it. We're going to pick this apart right now. I don't see anything that looks like that last digitizer, but just because I don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Let's open the plastic and see what's what. Actually, we'll take the front off. And this one looks fairly clean. So, good enough. Alright, had to mute. Big drink was necessary on that one. check it beforehand. I have a couple of the newer tiny little, how do I want to say it? Netbooks is basically what they are. The little 11-inch, 10 and 11-inch laptops. A few of them that can run Windows 10, but as we know, that's dying out in October 2025. So I can't really find a purpose for it now. So we have to lift this whole thing to get that screen out. If we do that, that should make it easier to get the digitizer off. And that, yep, digitizer's right there. Let's look for the battery and see if there's an easy disconnect for it. It looks like there may be right here. Yep, definitely battery disconnect. Okay. And also, I think it's worth noting that we have a battery stuck to the back of that screen, which if it was a broken LCD, you know, just rip it off there and bust the screen. But since it's a fairly good one with just a hazy dot in it, I think we'll go with the, we got to try and remove it without completely, what is this that I'm stuck, undoubtedly stuck to? Man, this stuff is some tape. What's that there? Battery, so we're gonna have to get that off there. Just keep the screen. Not like we're gonna see a lot of these, but you know what? Somebody comes in like, hey, I have a broken screen. Do you have one? I'll be like, yes, here's one you can have. Go install it yourself. It has a dot, a smudge. Man, I'm really worried about. Yeah, it's doing exactly what I thought it was going to. It's ripping that connector off for the camera. So let's apply a little heat so we can hopefully not destroy that camera connector. I want to peel this tape up without. Absolutely murdering that camera connector. And that all that adhesive is just stretching. That's fine. That's better than ripping that black piece out of there. I don't think we need to remove that. We should be able to just pop that right out of the board, correct? Yes? No? Yeah. Or the bezel. What else? We have a Wi-Fi antenna to remove. We have buttons. Headphone jack. Is that a headphone jack all the way down there? Really? I guess. 3 a.m. for you. You gotta head out and get some sleep. Get to it, brother. Get some sleep. Thanks for stopping over. It's good talking to you. Need to meet up a little more often, sir. Have a chit chat. I'm always on WhatsApp. I answer there. You know that. So, yes, go get some rest, Moose. Definitely. Old netbooks and pretty wrecked, others largely intact. Yeah, netbooks were, I don't know. Like, I saw the point, you know, if you were going to the beach or something and didn't want to take, like, you, but I can't take a Did that really stick to my glove, and when I moved my fingers flung backward? I believe it did. Alright, whatever. We'll pick it up off the floor. That's fine. If you're going to the beach and wanted to have basic use of a computer, I could see that netbook use, but like I really couldn't take and use one of those like to do anything productive, even to check emails. But I saw the point, and people taking it and not having much to carry, or if you're going out on a job like a road call from your shop or whatever. Yeah, I'm just sweeping now to try and take a look for that little tiny screw that flung back. I think it flung. I could be wrong. It could be somewhere else. I'm certain it went. I heard it hit the floor, but we won't know till we know. All right, well, it's not anywhere I just swept. Let's put it that way. So now the hunt's on. So I pulled it out. It didn't magnet there. 1, 2, 3. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have got to find this thing wherever it decided to vanish. I thought it literally flung backwards. All right, moment to look for a screw. Ooh. All right, we'll just replace it with one of 10 dozen other screws from tablets that I have. I have large. You know what? Here we go. Where are you? Can't be getting no flack. Can't be getting harassed online for not using an identical screw as to what goes in there. So we'll get this busted one out of the closet and we'll place it with the screws for the one that we dropped. There. Direct replacement, okay? From the manufacturer. I don't want to put a different threaded screw in there by chance, compromise the integrity of this finely tuned machine. What else? We got a board to get out, connectors. Camera, that's going to plug in somewhere. Shit, I don't even know where it possibly soldered to the board. Let's do this. Let's pop our buttons out, remove our Wi-Fi antenna, and just keep the tape right where it is. All right, did we get the adhesive to cut these button assembly loose? There. Or the IPA, surely. And Wi-Fi antenna, how is that in there? So there is foam there, and it looks to be a sticker, and only a sticker. I do not like these. When you have solder on stickers, it's never great. All right, that goes to the screen. All right, one loose and two, hopefully. All right, that's loose. Let's pull the board. I think we can get the board out at this point. Windows XP, the good old days. I don't miss them, man. I much prefer the operating systems today than the XP days. Is there going to be a screw under there? And surely, yep, that goes under the battery. We got to lift this one, this end here. Speaker we probably could have did without removing, but it's out of the way. We know where it goes, and we have a camera to take out. And what else? Are we free? Almost free? We are. That's going to be quite the mess to put back in there. Excuse me. No, we got to remove the ribbon. We're going to need that. Do we? No, I don't think we do need the new one. No, we have one, but in case, let's not ruin it. It's in case there's something wrong with the one that's on that screen, let's pull this ribbon. Round side goes to the board. We have to get this guy up here. Hopefully it's not stuck with too much. Let's IPA it and try and cut it loose. Battery free. We'll roll that and flatten everything back out. Stick down some new adhesive for the new screen. I don't see this tape being useful, but maybe. And the question is, will this screen come out of here, or is it adhered? It's not adhered to the front, so we should be able to pop it out. Let's hope. There we go. Before we set it down or let it leave our hand, We're going to hold it and mark it. Even though the new one has writing on, we'll mark this one's spot. That way to not be confused with anything else that may be laying around. And that spot's roughly somewhere there or there. Otherwise, a good screen. Okay, and digitizer. The fun part. Let's, I mean, it really don't much matter how we get this out of here, does it? Let's heat it up, try and lift it away, and then we'll cut it with a card and some IPA. We'll try. What we don't want to do is melt the plastic. So we're going to throw some heat in here, but on a positive note, we don't have to worry about tempering the LCD screen because it's not in there. Is this really one of those? It might. Yeah, it is. Okay. So the question is now, are we just... And we are. So we're literally taking off the outer plastic, and as you can see, it's not breaking. It's plastic that's on the outside, and then the digitizer itself is glass. Not a great way to manufacture something. So what we want to do is get behind our digitizer. Wait, can we really lift this out of here? That'd be great. I don't want to go bending anything, but we'll give a little tug on it, and it should hopefully pop out. And we're getting to where there's broken shards of glass. This may be tougher. So let's work around the other way where it's bigger pieces until we break it further. All right, the new one does have the foam strips around. That's good. I'll go ahead and just flood a little IPA on there, see if we can't get it to cut loose. It's probably not going to. No. And a bezel. That's what we wanted. Cleanup time. I think we're going to leave the glue in where the... Oh, you know what I need, though? that we don't have on the new one. I'm glad I noticed that. We need these little speaker grill things or whatever they are. So we got to get those to cut loose from this plastic outer layer. They're metal, so we don't want to really bend them too much. Hit it with some hot air and see if that will help get it off of there easier. Yeah, somehow I just don't think that's the answer either. So it's actually glued to the outer side. Glued like that, which meant that sticks down to that. So we'll put that in place, put another one in place. I'm gonna have to end here soon. I hope to at least fix one today. But yeah, we didn't make it that far. We could have had one done without that defective tablet, but all right, let's so the dent goes out, which would mean the dent goes up. What are you on about? Modern problems. Cheap tablets are the bane of my existence. I've stopped accepting them into my collection now. Into your collection? What, you're collecting this stuff? What, like all modern electronics? That's a pretty vast collection, my friend. I really genuinely, anytime somebody brings this stuff in to get fixed, I try to persuade against it. Like, these are the last jobs I want to do. But as I said, this is for a past delivery customer and a customer of this shop that has brought many things here to get fixed. And she wanted the cost of like 6 new tablets of whatever we could find at the time versus repairing these 6. And she went with the repairing these 6 against better advice. So here we are, you know? But yeah, cheap tablets. Not a fan. Not a fan, not a favorite. Let's see if we can plink this digitizer on here and sometime. Well, let's check the adhesive for. Actually, that adhesive yanked out of there fairly. I'm not even worried about it at this point. That came right out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those two. 1, 2, 3 for the board. Everything else is looking good. Get some of that crap out of the way. Let's see about throwing a digitizer in here real quick. See if that's a thing. Does it exist? Will it work? We got to peel the back. And start stripping some of this stuff off. Our backer for the adhesive. One more, please. And we'll have a chance to clean anything off that's on the inside of this. Mainly because, well, the LCD screen still has to go in. Alright, so let's try and get it lined up side to side. Looks good. And see if our little grills can use any adjustment. Yes. Slight adjustment. We will tweezer that to the side ever so slightly to adjust. And then check this one as well. Doesn't look like it needs to move much, if at all. Not real happy with the placement of it, even though it's a cutout. But we're going to try and just move it ever so slightly. There, much better. All right, digitizer's in. Let's check the inside for stuff, dust, lint, anything of the sort. And we will really see this, and it'll be hugely exhibited once we're gonna have to buff up this screen for sure. All right, dummy. The other thing, using IPA on these, I don't mind it, but it's like you can never quite get it perfect. So if you can help not touching it, not getting dust on it, that is the way to go. But that's not always a thing. What do we got there? Only Windows tablets seem to interest me as of late. Apple and Android have sort of lost their luster, eyeing up a Surface RT Pro. You know what? On that note, you saying that, I've never been one for tablets. And I recently had to get a new laptop for work, mainly because a customer came in and saw my old work laptop and had to have one, and they didn't want to wait, offered to buy mine on the spot. I'm like, it's used, but if you really want it, you can have it. We'll sell it for this much. Sold it. So I bought a new laptop and ended up getting a Lenovo laptop. And it's I got one that had a pen. I was going to get, just like the Carbon, one of the light ones, and then I decided against that and went with one that came with a pen and actually folded back on itself to work kind of like a tablet. But it's a full-blown laptop. So let's pop this in here and see what the score is. That is not a comfortable feeling, popping the corners in on this. Not at all. Nope. Does not look too shabby. Looking to verify that dust is moving when I move it. Should be good. Let's take a couple minutes and reassemble if we can. So what do we have? We have a mess of a board to put in here. I know that. Plus we have this tape that we pulled the old one off. Let's try and lift that. I just hope this damn screen is good and not something worse. It's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be pulled from working tablet. You know that eBay listing. You know the one I'm talking about. Yeah. Back to what I was saying, but I'm going to take a quick break for 1 minute. So instead of just getting a laptop, I got a convertible, whatever, that actually opens up. And the X1 Carbons open up like that. But what use would that be to draw if you had a pen? You know, you're going to be bumping the keyboard unless it deactivates when you lay it flat. And I don't think it does. But when you completely open them up, or tent the thing or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, I went for the X13 Yoga. I think Gen 1 used, right around the same level of what my previous work laptop was, and I gotta say it's pretty great hardware wise, even though they have their list of known problems. But what device doesn't? That thing's great for drawing, digital art, and also just light enough to take out on road calls and do stuff. So I understand the looking at the surface thing there. Okay, let's see if we can put this mess back together quick. I doubt it, but some days some people get some lucky, or kind of lucky. It's one of those, you know what I'm talking about. So let me get this right. Let's take a look at this. This is interesting. I just noticed this about this board, right? They have this crazy, super silly headphone jack that runs off a ribbon cable all the way down here to the bottom corner. And I understand putting it down there and not putting it out the top if that is the top. It's probably the bottom. But they actually have a spot for a headphone port right on the motherboard right there. But they ran it out another, like an auxiliary port. Silly, silly people. Alright, so let's see. Before tape starts landing down and sticking us in all the wrong places, let's try and line this up. Get the board where it goes. There's an alignment peg and the spot for a camera. And then stuff should just kind of start falling where it goes. Correct? Let's throw 3 screws in that. And 3 from this pile. The current laptop needs replacing now. Served me well for the past 5 years, but now I need a new one. 2012 ThinkPad is just too old now. 2012 ThinkPad, they were good though, right? They were good laptops. HP ProBook 640 G3 with a 7th gen. I have a 640 G1, I think, and a 640 G2. I don't have one that new though. That'd actually be kind of awesome to have one that new. Mine's 10th gen Intel, and there's some other stuff happening there. All right, let's try and throw these buttons back where they belong. I know we're not going to get this anywhere near where it needs to be in a decent amount of time, but we're surely going to give it a try. Let's stick him down, right? It's already too far up on that end. Pop him down just a hair. Him as well. Antenna looks good. Don't quite know where that goes, but we do know where the buttons go, so we'll try and stretch those over this way. I'm going to be working on this job tomorrow as well, too, so I do have to leave the shop at some point on a road call, so that's a thing. All right, buttons in place. Let's try and land our headphone port down there. That would be these two. Oh boy, which two? That speaker and speaker headphone is these ones, even though I think they're all the same screw. No, these are not for that. Headphone port literally sets there. What am I doing? These are for that little dock thing. A lapse of memory for a moment there. So that sets there, and then this speaker holds the ribbon cable down, right? Right. Yeah, no, that's not a bad spec laptop. Let me read the specs again. 7th Gen i5, 16 gigs of DDR4, 2 terabyte NVMe on HP EliteBook 735 G6s. Yeah, the Ryzen. I've never had a Ryzen laptop, and I actually have only built probably 4 or 5 Ryzen machines in this shop since they've come out. It's largely Intel is what I build, and what I tell people I like, but some people have went with the cheaper option because that's just the way they wanted to go, and they're fine and free to do that. But yeah, definitely can't kick on Ryzen. The few Ryzen systems that were desktops that I built were pretty awesome, and the couple it's rare that a laptop comes in. People always like to buy that big box Black Friday doorbuster. The shit everybody fights about. Everybody buys that crap, it seems. It's like, get something better. And little by little, I've converted a lot of those customers over, trying to get them to buy, stuff that isn't going to expire, a month after warranty ends. Okay. And I think we can peel up one piece of tape. What's another piece of tape going to hurt? It's honestly not. And we have this in a battery. So let's try one. Let's roll our battery out. I got to do this on the glass counter. You can't see that. I don't have a camera pointed at it, but long story short, we're going to lay the battery down, take a can, and roll it to roll the wrinkles out. And that's just any aerosol can, any round spray can. It's not perfect. The battery is not really bent. The wrinkles aren't big ridges anymore. Let's grab boy, I'd love to try that tool on this to remove this adhesive, but I think we can just get away with nah, that's just gonna make a mess. It's gonna lump up. Can we get away with that today? That'd be nice if we could. Let's try it. Razor blade, plastic one. I'm gonna try and strip that adhesive off of the battery quick. Not too bad. Kind of, sort of. All right, one side gone. Let's go for the other. And I think it is time to go to work, but we'll at least go for the gold. And those are the headphone screws. It doesn't just sit there. I just realized they were sitting there. Right, plastic razor blades are great. Battery should still be flat enough. to sit in there without affecting anything. We're just going to take some IPA and clean up a little bit of adhesive residue. Probably not going to get it perfect. Doesn't stop us from trying repeatedly, though. Right? Right. Okay, and what did we have on there? We had something about as wide as, say, this. You have a set of scissors. And just roughly, well, make sure it's nice and big strip of adhesive for the next person that gets to get inside here, which is potentially me. We don't want this tablet being out of balance, so we're gonna put the counterweight on the other side here. Can't have it going down the road wobbling and hopping all over the place, you know. What you got here? Idiots fight during Black Friday. The smart ones plan ahead. Yeah, wait for the other people to fight and then run in and grab the shit they're dropping and knocking all over the place. All right. Man, I really didn't want to stick this down, but I think I'm just gonna go for it. Let's peel these two backer strips off. We kind of know where this battery goes, kind of. Let's go ahead and plug it in real quick here. We want to get this way up, and it literally just kind of sets there. And as long as it's not going to cover our other speaker wire too bad, we'll pop that out and sets down against that speaker. And I think this speaker spaces it up as well. If I'm not mistaken, I could be very, very mistaken at this point. But now hold on a minute here. Those two are there, those two there. Let's go ahead and put these in. And we have, what, a piece of tape to put back? Two? One, two, something like that. This is for that dock thing. What a nuisance this was coming off of there, but we can see our wires. Where they kind of were. Stretch that back across there to keep our battery connected in there nicely. And let's see if we can put this back in the back. Oh, and that is okay. So that's some type of microphone array, noise canceling, something of the sort. Let's lift this up. We're going to try and put that in place and then move this out of the way slightly. Alright, so evidently hold it down, then attempt to screw it in. Okay, lesson learned. And that should be that one. Let's test that it works quick, and then I gotta head to work. Kind of thinking that, was there not a piece of tape that went across those? No, it was this connector here. That one that I was worried about, not those. All right, fair enough. Let's find the buttons, make sure they're aligned. That's the, there they are. Okay, get our buttons aligned. We can do a full test up on this tomorrow. Right now I want to see that touch works, so I know whether I got to start a return or not. I think, is this the one we charged? Yes, no? Oh, there we go. Booting up, no spot, looking good. Screen protector's on, so we can let the customer peel that. All right, and one done for the day. Working touch, that's what we care about. And at that, I'm going to start cleaning up to get out of here while this is booting up. Enough charge for you. Not so terrible. That one actually worked the way it should. Touch is working. That's great. How do we... I have gloves on, so it is following my finger. That's good enough. And it dropped at that page. Probably a little quick for it. Gloves on, and that shipping protector's on there. Good enough for the screen. There's no spot in it. We can see that there's nice even color if it would ever focus. Nice even color across the whole thing. And yeah, I think we're going to end it there, people. Thank you for hanging out, joining me. And we'll be back tomorrow to do some more. We'll see you then. I gotta find the button. I can't find the button.